Here's One America's Daniel Baldwin.
We're here in Freeland, Michigan, standing here with former gubernatorial candidate and host of the Tudor Dixon podcast, Tudor Dixon. Tudor, how are you?
I'm great. It's great weather. We're excited. We're having Trump here. It's a good day.
Well, I wanted to ask, Saginaw County, where we are, is a massive bellwether county for Michigan. Why is it important that Donald Trump is coming here today? And the polls suggest that Michigan is really a 50-50 toss-up. Trump's leading a lot of them. Is Michigan in play? Will it go red in November? What's the feeling on the ground?
Michigan is definitely in play. That's why you see the Democrats freaking out. In fact, I would say that's why you see the Democrats being very silent on these college protests right now because of Michigan. They're afraid that it will offend the people here in Michigan. They saw the uncommitted vote here. So Michigan is definitely in play. And Saginaw is a very important county for us here in this state, and certainly a county where the people have felt the impacts of the Biden administration policies and the Whitmer administration policies in a big and very negative way.
Well, you mentioned those college protests. Obviously, Tuesday night it escalated to a certain level, specifically in New York with Columbia University on the West Coast, UCLA. But Michigan has seen some as well, Tudor. Is that really just a lack of leadership from the Biden administration, him not setting the proper tone on the messaging when it comes to the Israel-Hamas war? What do you make of what's happening on American colleges right now?
I think it's a much deeper issue. I think there's a lot of funding behind this. We know that some of this funding has come through Act Blue. I think Democrats have to answer to that. Exactly why is the funding coming through them and where is it coming from? We've seen these flyers. They're the same flyers printed college after college. This is an organized effort, and it is definitely coming from their side of the aisle. I would say that this is the next push for the Democrat Party to become more progressive, and Joe Biden has to decide what he's going to do to get that under control. He is the leader of their party, and he is silent on this. It is devastating for the country, and it should be devastating for the Democrats.
What do you make of his silence, though? Donald Trump has criticized it, of course. He really seems to be walking a tightrope here, and he seems to be being held hostage by that younger, very extremely liberal wing of the Democrat Party. What do you make of it?
Right. I think it's fear. I mean, he's not walking a tightrope right now. He's hiding from a very serious situation where we have radicalization on our college campuses of our students, and he's not engaging the FBI. He's not talking to the American people. In fact, instead, he's coming out and saying things like he's listening to AOC. She's a very intelligent woman, and he has to get more information from her. I mean, this is a person who's out there saying that these students shouldn't be kicked off of campus. These people that are taking over the buildings, that are zip tying the doors shut. This is scary times, and the fact that he is silent on it means that he should no longer be eligible to run for president of the United States.
Tudor, a new report came out Tuesday suggesting that the Biden administration was looking at ways to accept and relocate Palestinian refugees into the United States. Michigan obviously has seen a bit of a population decline, and one of the governors, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, of course, she's a massive Biden national surrogate, but one of her plays to try to help increase the population is welcoming in newcomers to the state of Michigan. Should Michigan be concerned about reports of accepting Palestinian refugees? Could they end up here? Should Michigan residents concerned with illegal immigration be concerned about that report?
I think there's an even bigger concern here in the state of Michigan. Why is Gretchen Whitmer so desperate to bring people from outside of the country into Michigan? Because she has nothing to offer Americans. She can't even bring people from Indiana into Michigan right now. And so the people of Michigan need to say, her administration just released a report saying that by 2050 we will have lost to 700,000 people based on the trajectory of the state. And there will be no population growth and no business growth in the state of Michigan. So I think it's a bigger issue. Why is Gretchen Whitmer saying, I'm giving up on bringing Americans to the state of Michigan, and I'm looking at bringing people from other countries because I'm so desperate to actually show some population growth?
So when you see population decline, what does that mean economically for Michigan? You said this, with the lack of population growth, there's going to be a lack of job growth as well. What does the declining population mean for the economic future of Michigan if Donald Trump does not get reelected in November?
Well, it's going to be devastating for all of the people left here. If you take 700,000 people away and you don't have that tax base, it's going to hurt our schools. It's going to hurt our infrastructure even more so than our infrastructure is already hurting, which we are, I think, 41st in the nation for infrastructure. It's also going to hurt us in general because we're going to have to increase taxes on people to be able to pay the bills. The fact that she has led the state into this level of decline should make it so that she is ineligible for higher office at any point in her life or any cabinet position.
Tudor Dixon, host of the Tudor Dixon podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here on One America News at the rally here in northern Michigan, central Michigan. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you for having me.